Hello, I am here to review WWE Backlash France 2024. So far this year I've watched all the events, all the PLEs, pay-per-views, but they got a fresh new fancy name, premium live events, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Elimination Chamber. I watched all three while live streaming my reaction, but I couldn't watch this one because I was at work, unfortunately. Just the wrong place at the wrong time. I wish I was there though, because the crowd was insane! Absolutely insane! Anyway, I love the fact that that WWE have started to branch out, doing more shows outside of the mainland of the US and Canada. They did PLEs in Saudi Arabia, in Melbourne, Australia, in Perth, Australia, London, England. I was there last year. Cardiff, Wales, doing one in Scotland this year. That's going to be great. Clash at the Castle, I'm sure that'll be great for Drew McIntyre. Bash in Berlin is coming in August. I think, is it August, September? I can't remember, but that's coming as well. They did Puerto Rico, outside of mainland US. They've done so many international events already, in terms of like Raw and SmackDown, but they're actually starting to do pay-per-views or PLEs worldwide, and I love it. Please come back to England for WrestleMania, please. Although, after what I saw at Backlash, I think France also deserves a WrestleMania, because that might have been the greatest crowd in wrestling history. I watched SmackDown, and I thought to myself, this might be the best crowd ever. I watched the reactions to the 8-woman tag team match at the start. For Bayley, for Tiffany, for Naomi. They were crazy for Naomi. All these at Bianca, you get every single entrance was bloody crazy. They booed the heels, cheered some of the heels, they cheered all the faces. It was bloody amazing. And this was just SmackDown, the KO show, the entrances for that. For both the KO show and Backlash, they were singing Randy Orton's entrance song. Like, how often do you see that? They were singing entrance songs, they were talking along with Samantha Irvin, announcing the wrestlers. The AJ Styles phenomenal chants, I don't know what exactly they were saying, but they were saying something, a football chant. You're truly phenomenal, la la la. Amazing. When you really hear that, it was just bloody amazing. And this is just SmackDown. This is just SmackDown. When Paul Heyman came out for the KO show, my name is Paul Heyman, the arena just explodes with that sentence. And this is not even the PLE yet. This is the SmackDown the night before, a regular episode of TV that's actually taped. And you see this huge crowd reaction. And then LA Knight's entrance was electric. And after he won his match, his promo was electric. LA Knight, yeah, probably the loudest it's ever been. And it's always loud, but that was probably the loudest that's ever been. And to be honest, you could say that about every single reaction, every single chant. Might be the loudest you ever heard this chant, because Backlash France was that loud. It broke records in terms of sound. It was so loud just on SmackDown that they issued warnings that if you're exposed to this sort of level of sound for too long, you could have hearing problems. Like, it was that crazy. It was that loud. I wasn't even there and I could hear the bloody thing through the screen. It was crazy. Even the bloody Street Profits got an amazing pop. And obviously the final promo as well with AJ, like I mentioned already, and Cody singing the song as well. Like, maybe the loudest whoa we've ever heard from a Cody entrance, which is crazy because every single one feels like the loudest one, but that was clearly louder than anything we've heard before. And like, it's no exaggeration. And this was just SmackDown. And Davidoff knew, after watching SmackDown, that's Backlash France on Saturday nights would be the most electrifying event in the history of wrestling. You know what The Rock normally does? I got chills. The hairs are standing up. I got bloody chills just from SmackDown. So I already knew that Backlash would be damn good. Damn good. And they started off with the tag team match, RKO versus the Bloodline. Nick Aldis came out because they started brawling. Kevin Owens didn't RKO anyone. Kevin Owens stunned some security bastards trying to split up the fight. They started brawling. Nick Aldis, the general manager, came out. A great general manager, by the way. I love the two general managers they have at the moment. They're really entertaining. He came out, he said, this is now a street fight. I love it. We had a nice big half-an-hour match, plenty of good spots. Solo got RKO'd onto the table. Didn't go through the table, but he got RKO'd onto the table. That was a great spot. There were so many great spots I could talk about, but it was an incredible match. An incredible match. But then you have a new Bloodline member. Another member of Bullet Club. It seems like WWE on a mission to get every member of Bullet Club in wrestling at some point or another in the WWE. But that was a great match, and I feel like they're teasing for a big Roman Reigns face return. I look forward to that if that's the case. You even hear this chance of "We want Roman" on SmackDown, and maybe that is what's happening. Maybe he is teaming up with Jimmy and Jay, and The Rock's on the other side. So what about the other guy, Jacob Fatu? He recently signed with WWE. You would assume he's joining the Bloodline, but it seems it wasn't him that came out. I expected him to come out at Backlash, but it wasn't him. So does that mean he will be on Team Roman, assuming this whole team thing is happening, and The Rock on the heel team? It seems like that's what's happening. That's what it seems like. I guess we'll see, but I'm looking forward to this storyline. But it's good to start them with a win. Like, you got to have them win that first match. So, yeah, it's a good match, and you had the right winners at the end, and an interesting new Bloodline member. So, I look forward to seeing where this goes. And I'm very scared Paul Heyman. He is a great actor. He should be in a movie, to be honest. Then you had the women's triple threat match: Bayley versus Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi. This was a bloody good match. And Tiffany got one deed by the other two. I did not expect that move in that match. A bit of Uso influence. I know the Usos did not make that move. I know it was a different tag team. But still, I did not expect that move to take out Tiffany. And she never came back because the match ended shortly after that. And for the first time after the pin, you heard the crowd silenced and shocked. And it's not because Bayley won. They were happy. They liked Bayley. It's just the way she won. She won in a very surprising way. I was just like, oh, so it ends like that. I would have wanted a better ending, to be honest. But the winner was correct. So I think Stratton should be the next champion at some point down the line. But the winner was correct. But the way she won was interesting. But it's still a great match. Still a great match. And then you got Jay in backstage meeting the new Bloodline, which is definitely teasing something, especially when Paul Heyman came up to him. There is something going on there. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing this reunion between certain characters. Then you have Jey Uso versus Priest. The rest of the Judgment Day came out, just JD and Finn, because everyone else is on the hospital bed right now. But how good was Jey Uso's entrance? That was the best entrance yet, and the crowd made it everything. The scenes for Jey Uso's entrance. He is so over, even across in France. He is so over. They need to put a championship on him. It needs to happen. I don't know when, but a singles championship run is what he needs. I don't know when. Damian Priest winning, I think, was correct. He can't lose it that quickly. But still, they got to put something on him at some point. Come on. He's earned it. But that was his best entrance. Like, that was the best crowd. I mean, I was in awe. In absolute awe. Anyway, fast forward to what I was saying. Judgment Day interfered. Damian Priest was not happy. You would think he was going to start turning on JD and Finn. They were starting to have a little bit of a fight, a bit of a play fight at the end when they were attacking Jey Uso. I thought that was intriguing. I think they're definitely setting up Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. But that's got to happen soon, maybe, because surely Drew McIntyre is going to win the title in Scotland when that big event is happening. There's a lot of things to think about. A lot of things to think about. And Money in the Bank is soon as well. Then you had Bianca and Jade beating the Kabuki Warriors. That was a fun match. Probably the weakest match of the night, but that's not to say much because every match was bloody great. Then you got the main event, AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes. AJ Styles came out first. You heard a phenomenal chance. His music is still stupid. I don't know why they changed it. Cody Rhodes comes out. You hear a huge whoa. Okay, it might have been less quiet. It might have been louder on SmackDown, actually. SmackDown was so loud. But regardless, maybe it was my audio settings. And then he came out. His music stopped when he got in the ring. And they kept singing his song. They kept singing his song until a certain point. I'm just like, this is amazing. The music has stopped and they're still singing. They still know the words, or at least the tune. This is the most amazing thing. This is why I wish I was part of it, but I wasn't. I wasn't part of it, but I wish I was. I wish I was in France just to see how amazing that event was, because it truly was like, because I know for a fact that crowds sound a lot better in person than they will on TV. TV will do a good job of capturing it, but you don't really know how good it really is until you're actually there. I know this from the England-London one last year, Money in the Bank, because that was crazy. It was still crazy on TV, but it was more crazy in person. So I do wish I was there, because I can only imagine what it was like. Because I can imagine it was definitely louder than the London one last year. So I wish I was there. I wasn't, unfortunately, but I wish I was there. But yeah, like, they were singing along, and then when Samantha Irvin, first of all, you see Samantha Irvin in the middle, you see Cody Rhodes as champion on the left, AJ Styles on the right, WWE logo in the corner, and you see Backlash France in Leon France in the other corner. And I'm just thinking, can you imagine showing that screenshot to someone in 2015? Can you imagine that? Because I can't. Because I would call you crazy if you told me that would happen. Like, my word, we are living in a fantasy world sometimes in wrestling. But when Irwin announced AJ Styles as a challenger, this is the best phenomenal chant. It's so loud, it sounds like a proper football chant, and it is a replica of a football chant as well. It literally is. It just sounds like amazing. Like, it sounds like, you know, Leon fans really bringing their League energy into WWE, and it was amazing. The camera was literally shaking. That's how loud it was. The camera was shaking. How AJ Styles kept a straight face, I don't know. Because if that was me and I was the heel, I would just start smiling. Because I could not hold in my emotions at that. You are there, you're standing there, and they're all singing for you. And you're meant to be the villain of this story. They're all singing for you. They're all chanting there for you at the top of their voices, so much that the camera is shaking. The camera is shaking. Like, it's just like, that's, I mean, he made it like a decade, he made it years ago, he made it decades ago, he was already a star decades ago, but, you know, that's how you know, you've had a special career. He's towards the end of his career. He said his body's starting to hurt every morning. He mentioned that in an interview in a podcast, I think, but we're going to enjoy his last few years in wrestling, because this guy is truly phenomenal, like they were chanting. Then the match starts, and you get this incredible match. You get this amazing match between Cody and AJ. I'm just like, this is pretty damn good for a title defense, considering it's just on such short notice. First defense at WrestleMania, no bloodline involved. For Cody's first defense, this is the best thing they could have done in a short span of time. They didn't need that much story. It was just a great match of wrestling, and they really delivered. But Cody Rhodes put AJ through a table. I'm sure he agreed to it. But that man has been talking about how his body hurts every single morning, and he is taking hits through tables. This man is a madman. You got to agree to do these things. You got to agree to take these things. AJ Styles, bloody, he agreed to that. He agreed to that. He's really giving it everything. He's really giving it everything. But that was a great spot. There was a lot of great spots in this. And then one of the craziest, the craziest moment. AJ Styles hits a burning hammer, which is a pretty big move. He hits a burning hammer. The name of it sounds ferocious. The name of it sounds like a finisher. Burning hammer. That's a move that should end things. AJ Styles hits a burning hammer, and Cody kicks out at one. At one! He kicks out straight away at a burning hammer. A burning hammer! He kicked out of a burning hammer. How? And he kicked out at one. One. They got the right winner. But how do you kick out a burning hammer at one? But okay. If that's how we want to go, okay. But yeah, great match, great wrestling, amazing crowd. In terms of crowd, probably the best event ever in wrestling. But yeah, it was great wrestling as well. And even SmackDown felt like a pay-per-view for how loud it was. They got to do more pay-per-views outside. I call it pay-per-view because I'm used to that name. They should host more PLEs outside America, which they are doing. The next one's in Saudi, I think. Then they're doing Scotland, and Germany's after SummerSlam. SummerSlam's the next one's in the US. Money in the Bank, I think, is Canada. So I'm counting it as North America, mainland North America. But still, the fact they're going so far out is amazing to see. You know, it really is amazing to see. We also had Australia in February as well, so you know we had some great times. We've had some great events worldwide. They're really pushing it, and hopefully we get some WrestleManias outside of the mainland as well, because that's not happened yet, and that is the big event. The next one is confirmed to be in Vegas, which is pretty damn good. I wish I could afford that, but I look forward to that event as well. But yeah, if this is anything to go by, I expect a lot from Bash in Berlin. I know it's a different country, but I am fairly certain German fans are very passionate too, so I'm excited for that. But to review this event as a whole, it was banger after 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 banger. That's pay-per-view. Sorry, that's PLE. That's Premium Live Events. I'm still getting used to the name. Was a 9.7 out of 10. And I give nothing a 10. Because nothing is perfect. But that was as close to perfect as you could possibly get. You know what? It's a 9.9. But nothing's perfect. I'll give it a 9.9. We'll give it a 9.9 because of the way Bailey pinned Naomi. Yes, that one. Yes. Goodbye.
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you